Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel SQL Analytics. Today, let's try to solve another SQL question. So the question is, given a table which has two columns, associate IDs and skills, can you find those associates who are competent in SQL and Python both? Now, if you read the question once, you will find it not very intuitive, right? There is something which is kind of questioning. And the question is, are we talking about only SQL and Python? Or are we saying that it could be that you should be competent in SQL and Python along with something else, right? So that is the doubt. Either it is just the two skills, and those two skills should be SQL and Python both. Okay, so the count of skills should be 2, and those two skills should be SQL and Python. Or the count of skills could be n, right? But bare minimum SQL and Python should be there. So what is the question? That is the first thing that you should clarify when you try to read this question, right? Because that is something which is unclear, and that is what generally interviewers try to do. They try to give some ambiguity in the question set, and at times they just want you to understand the question before jumping in and writing the SQL queries. This is very important to understand. Okay, so now when you tried asking me the question, I have said that look, all we need is SQL and Python along with something else, right? So that is the question, which now becomes pretty clear to us. Now when this question is clear, right, if you just see this data, the ideal answer is, so 101 associate ID has just one skill, which is SQL, right? So this will not be a part of solution. 102 has three skill set. It contains both SQL and Python, so it will be part of the solution. And then ideally the last one, which is 106, this will also be a part of solution. So you just have two associates who actually fill our criteria. It is 102 and 106. Now, the way you can simply solve this is, step one, try to filter for those associates who either have skills in SQL or Python. So what this will do, it will try to give you all of those cases where associates have either of SQL or Python. Okay? So any combination of these two. So it could be just SQL, it could be SQL and Python both, it could be SQL, Python, or something else, because we don't know from what was there in the previous data, right? So it could be anything else. So all of those combinations could be possible. It could be just SQL, it could be just Python, it could be combination of these two, it could be combination of these two plus something else, right? Now we've got the whole data set that we need. Now, after this, all we need is, we just want only those sets which have SQL and Python for sure, right? So for that, you can count the skill set, and for counting the skill set, you can simply group the data and use count skills, so you can get the count skill part. And as intuitively as it sounds, all you need is if you can use a having condition, and if you can filter it by the having condition with count skill set 2, because for 102 and 106, it will give you both SQL and Python, right? For 106 also it will do the same thing. For 101 it was just SQL, right? And that is not the ideal answer, so we can ignore that. So this having condition is actually the criteria for us that will kind of work. Now, in the actual solution, we don't need count skill. This is just for you to understand how this is working, right? Ideally, you can simply ignore the count skill that has been written, right? You can have the group by statement, you can have the having count. A lot of you might feel confused, okay, you don't have count skills in this solution, but you are still using group by. That can be done, right? You don't need to have count skills as a column. You can still run this part. This is completely fine. It works, and it will give you the summarized solution, which is associate IDs 102 and 106. Okay, so that is a very interesting question. The ideal question in this, I am actually not interested in your query. I'm more interested whether you ask the right question before jumping on to the solution. That is more interesting. Okay, so